Hey everybody, and welcome to Woodcrest Bonsai. Today I'm going to work on this water jasmine. Genus species is Rhytii religiosa. And this is another tropical tree, grows very much like a vine. And I had used this tree to take air layers. So for a number of years I just let it grow crazy, even way crazier than it is now. So I could take an air layer, at least the pencil thickness and a little bit more, and I got about 50%. And then in February, on the 14th actually, Valentine's Day, I styled this. I skeletonized it, took it way back, and decided I was no longer going to use it for air layers, and styled it. And then it just sat, and it sat, and it sat, and it did nothing. And then just in the past 3 weeks or so, it's just gone crazy again. So now it's time to get rid of all that excess growth. It tends to sucker, so here's a sucker here from the base, and if we look in the back, you see there's a bunch of cut paste, and that it always suckers from there, and it probably will for the rest of its life. Then we have a sucker right here that is coming from the trunk right here, and as you can see, if we pull the leaves away, it's just coming straight up, and it's this is that growth there. Then we have another sucker right here that's coming from the back. So all that stuff comes off. Then the next step is to just give it a giant haircut, and then we can get in there and make some decisions about what branching we want to keep and what we want to save. And I'll show you some things that I have some issues with. So I'm going to put the camera onto the tripod instead of trying to do it freestyle. Okay, here we go. So just get rid of all the suckers first. Guy there. This one here. Another one that I didn't show you, but that's also growing straight up. Don't need that. Get rid of the one in the back. Well, maybe I was better off on the other side. And then just cut off the tips of all the crazy wild growth. Okay, so this is my first main branch, and luckily it still has some foliage, but if you notice, if we look here, it's only alive from way back here. All of this is dead up to right there. That's all dead, but at least it did sprout out, because my second main branch, which was extraordinarily weak, and I'm going to remove this here. Maybe we'll do a close-up. It might be hard to see. So right here, this poor little guy here used to be alive, and I wanted that to be my second main branch. And it did have some sprouts, but it never did anything. However, I do have two branches coming from a similar place. This one was one of the ones that went crazy, so it's really thick, much thicker than the first main branch. But I think I am going to wire that down into place and probably cut it back even more. I mean, way back, possibly to just this tiny little bud here. But this part is dead. And sometimes you just have to, deal with that. I wanted this little tiny piece to continue to grow, and much like the first main branch, but it just didn't happen. So if I am going to choose this very heavy branch, then the one above it comes off. And I had chosen the apex to come forward and then backwards. So this is the original apex. So I'm going to take off some of this growth here, but I'm just going to shorten it too, because this can sort of hide that apex. And the back branches, there's another one that has suckered that we don't need. And I have a big knob here that I may reduce tremendously. I've already reduced it once. See, this was where I was doing my air layers, just letting it go crazy. And I may reduce that right now because I don't really think I need this growth coming off the top. But I've got growth here. So try to reduce all that. And with these smaller concave cutters, you need to do it in stages. And this is at the back of the tree, so it doesn't have to be totally perfect. Whenever you make a cut like this, you do want to make sure it drains, so if it rains, that water drains away. Okay, so where are we here? Much nicer. So we have first branch, we have a back branch here, our second main branch, which I'm going to take the risk and just hope that it begins to sprout from this tiny little leaf. So see, like, if I cut this branch to here, like this, then the new growth is going to follow this leaf. If I cut the branch to there, then the new growth is going to follow this leaf and just go straight back up again. So this leaf here is actually perfectly placed because it's horizontal and it's also pointing straight out, which will make a beautiful second main branch. So right now I'm not going to risk damaging that little bud, so I'm going to just chop it there and then plan for this bud to move in for the second main branch. And we've just got some other incidental kind of stuff that needs to be shortened. This back branch here needs to be shortened quite a bit. And for now I'm just going to leave the growth on this first main branch because it really needs to thicken and be more robust. But if you imagine this as the first main branch like that, and here's some more growth that I'm going to cut away. So we've got a first main branch like this, second main branch coming out like that, apex, tree into here, and it's a pretty old tree because once again I used it for many years to take air layers. And I'm really disappointed that this branch didn't live, but sometimes you just have to, as my father would say, drop back and punt. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Get some new growth out here, and I'm looking at the apex. Maybe the apex could be wired like that. See, just doing a little tiny bit of wiring like that. And like, whoops, I don't really want to take these leaves away. But if we just like that, you'll see that just creates such nice movement. Just a little tiny moot change. And so I'm looking at this tree with hope that it's going to be, that now it's not going to go crazy. I don't know why it just sat for so long. Of course, it's not even in the... It almost looks like a bunjin right now, but it really needed that. These guys grow so rampantly. And of course, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be able to watch this guy develop, because it's certainly not going to be a bunjin. Once again, if we take the camera off the tripod and we pan out, I think it's going to be a nice tree. So please, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and you can watch this guy continue, and next time I drop a video on this guy. And the video that I took the February 14th, I don't think I ever actually posted it. So I suppose I shall post it too, maybe both days, and then just explain that I just never got around to posting that video. So this tree looks kind of crummy now, but I think it has great potential. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.